No, 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 no. Listen, 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 listen. In these days and times, you need to be able to make money any way possible. I purchased a bag of Skittles last week, a 50 count. I actually sold those individually wrapped for 10 cents each. Boom. Baller. That's how you do it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's a little cheap, but is it any cheaper than the actual business I did last week in which I purchased two lollipops and was selling individual licks for 5 cents each? Do you know how much money I made at the park? Oh, hi, hi, hello there. Okay, today we are talking about, like, stay out the shot all the time with you. Okay, today we are talking about well, let's see, what's on the list here? Cascade? Yeah, we're talking about Cascade today. Cascading style sheets, cascading actual styles. Okay, again, the previous video was short. Let's keep this one nice and short so you can continue to learn. All right, let's make sure you have your stay out the shot Visual Studio Code opened up right behind you or to the left, or of course it can be any text editor that you like. But why would you not use Visual Studio Code? Code. Okay, we have it opened up to the left, and actually it's to the right. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up a new file. Let's see, what are we working with here? That's the inheritance from last time. So we'll just open it up right here. And this is going to be called Cascade HTML. And we're going to have another file here. I need the CSS file. Cascade.css. Good. Let's open that up with live server so we can see what we're working with. Okay, and again, it's opened up way over here. Good. Let's close this and this, and let's get a bare bones HTML plate up here with doing exclamation mark and enter or tab. That did not work, so let's go back, try it again. And that's because I am in the CSS file. And let's go to the HTML file. There we go. And today we are working with, what are we working with here? Cascades. There we go. So Cascade CSS. And let's get a little bit of markup here. We're just going to have a div. And within that div, this is just markup we're going to use just to actually work with. Let's see. Let's do a craft fair today. So craft fair. And I don't see anything over here. Excuse me. Let's refresh live server. There we go. And below that, let's get a paragraph here. We'll get a paragraph with an ID of intro. And within that, we're going to say, let's see, with a number of different pies and fruits. There we go. And let's actually do another paragraph. This way we'll be able to have a better example here. Let's not forget about our secret special guest. All right, now that we have that, let's move the actual style sheet below. Okay, and go through a couple of examples here. So what we want to do is let's do a universal selector. Okay, so that's going to apply to the entire page. And we're going to say the font family for everything on the page is going to be Franklin Gothic Medium. All right, so now the actual, all of the font there, and actually I didn't see it, so let me just get rid of it. And let's refresh. Oh, you know what? The style's not actually working. Why? Because we did not actually link it to the HTML page. So let's do that. Okay, and it's called cascade.css. There we go. And now we can go back here and do uncomment that by doing control question or command question. And there, now our font has actually changed. So that's universally selected. It's going to apply to all of the elements on the actual page. And now what we want to do, because these do cascade here, we're going to go down a level and say, you know what? We want more of a specific rule. So in this case, we're going to target the H1, which is here. So we'll target that and we'll say we want the H1's font family to actually be Times Roman, Times New Roman. Okay, so it happened real quick, but let's go back, let's comment it out and take a look at the Craft Fair font. So right now with that H1 actually commented out, or the rule commented out at least, or that declaration, everything here has a font family of Franklin Gothic Medium. Okay, but now if we uncomment it, now the H1, only the H1 is going to have a font family of Times New Roman, but everything else from font family of having Franklin Gothic Medium is still going to cascade down throughout the other elements. Okay, so everything else is still going to have this actual font family. And so that is how we cascade. So you don't have to actually go in here and say font family. You want the font family for the H1 to be Franklin Gothic Medium, because if you left this blank, it already has it. So no need to type it over. No need to do this. No need to go font family Franklin Gothic Medium, because that's just redundant. That's just extra styles, unnecessary. Now that does happen when you see people working on multiple different things, on multiple different teams, but usually you'll be able to actually see all of that. So let's go on ahead, let's get rid of this, get rid of that extra code because we do not need it. Okay, and let's uncomment this out. And now the H1 style is completely different. Everything else is cascading down for the paragraph here and the paragraph here. All right, and let's see here. Oh, do we have, we need something in here. Let's see what we got here. Let's do this. Let's see, with a number of different pies and fruits. Let's take the word fruits and let's just make it bold, just by adding the bold option here. And how are we going to actually see that? We can't really see that. Maybe we can make it italic. There we go. A little hard to see there. Okay. And let me just increase the actual font here. Let's see. Let's see, we're in the paragraph intro, right? So let's go to intro. Or actually, we can actually target the actual I element, or the I. And let's say we want the font, we want the actual size to be 40 px. That's pretty big. Where are we here? I don't see font size. All right, font size is not going to work. We need font size. Okay, so here we have the actual fruits. Okay, and it looks like it's laying in there. It's italicized there, so that's perfect. All right, so what we want to do with that is say, the font size is 40. This is the first actual rule. Okay, so if I were to type it again and say font size 20, if you can see that there, you'll notice that the font size was just changed from 40 to 20. But we already have this here. It's already applied. So what happens is if someone comes along or you happen to scroll all the way down and you have two I elements actually targeted here, both with different types of styles within the rule, it's the last one that's going to take precedence. Okay? So this one does not even apply at all. This one takes over. Now, one way you could override that is actually by typing the exclamation mark and important. And that way it's always going to be 40 no matter what. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. I'll I'll just comment that out, just so you can actually, well, I'll comment that out just so it's there so you can use for reference, but I'll keep it here. Okay, and you'll still see that it's not applied at all. We can make that smaller. Okay, so the second one actually takes precedence there. All right, so that's good. That's good. So now you can actually see how these things can cascade all the way down. All right, if I was to do another one and make it font size 5, then it would be the latest one, which would take precedence. Okay. All right, now what else can we do here? We can actually, let's see here. I have two paragraphs here, one with an ID of intro. So let's do something with that. I have P, font size 30. Okay, so now all of the paragraph text, both of them will have a font size of 30. But if I were to be more specific and narrow that down and say, you know what, I want every paragraph tag or element that has an ID of intro, now I want that font size to be 50 px, not 30. So now the paragraph here with the ID of intro is now selected here. Okay, this is for all paragraphs. All paragraphs should have a font size of 30, but look at this. This is more specific. So this rule is going to actually be able to say, you know what, that's fine, Mr. P with no ID of intro, but I am a P of intro and I am demanding that the font size be 50. And this P will just say, understood, understood. And that is pretty much a good small example of cascading style sheets and how you can actually have styles run all the way throughout the actual page itself. Different ways to actually select these as well. Again, trying to keep these short, simple, and sweet for you so you can say, you know what, I'll check that one off of the list. I can apply it to a project. I can apply it to a small div. If you have any comments, you can always leave them right below. And of course, always subscribe because the material and the videos is coming out all the time. There's 5 different languages we're covering. Who knows, we'll probably even get up to 8 different languages. But for the most part, we're going to work with 5. That's the MySQL, the PHP, the JavaScript, the CSS, and the HTML. Actually, I said subscribe. And always hit the notification so you can always get that information as to when a new video has been released. Okay, other than that, full stack out.